All right, guys, here we go. Last day of the month, March 31st. We got a huge schedule, guys. 13 games. We got a lot of work to do over here. We're going to break down all these games. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. First game of the night, guys, we got the Bulls going to Charlotte to take on the Red Hot Hornets. I never thought I'd be saying that this time of the season, but that is true, guys. The Hornets on a 3-game winning streak, even though they've been playing without the majority of their starters. Doesn't matter. They've beat the Mavericks twice. Mavericks with both Luka and Kyrie in the lineup. And then they went to OKC. OKC was playing without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they needed a win. They're in playoff contention. Charlotte Hornets don't give a shit about any of that stuff, guys. They went in there, won that ball game also, showed the 2 wins against Dallas was not a fluke. This time they got the Bulls coming in. From the looks on the injury report, guys, much of the same for the Hornets. They got the same players in the lineup. All their starters look to be out. Well, we got his Kelly Oubre Jr. listed as questionable. He might make a comeback. Hopefully he doesn't, guys. Just keep the same group out there. It's a winning formula. Don't change it. The Hornets, guys, doesn't matter they're about tanking. They're not going anywhere in the standings. They are 26-51. They're the difference between them and the Magic and the Pistons is so big that nothing will move them in the standings. They're going to be finishing second to the bottom in the East. So a win won't do anything for their draft lottery chances. They are where they are. Nothing's going to change. In this game, guys, I like the Hornets in this with the +7. I'm going to look for them to continue their hot ways. Even though the Bulls do need this win, they are in playoff contention. Laying these many points on the road, guys, I'm not really for that. Charlotte and the +7, I think, is the right side in this game. In the next matchup, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Thunder currently 3-point favorites. I had OKC favored by 3.5 in this game. What we need to look at in this game, guys, is the injury report. From the looks of it, Oklahoma City is going to have to go to battle in this matchup without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander again. The good thing for them is that the Pacers are on a 4-game losing streak, getting blasted left and right by every single team that they play, losing by double digits in every single one of these games that they've lost during this losing streak. The Pacers in this matchup might be getting Buddy Hield back. That should help them a bit in the perimeter. But it looks like Rick Carlisle will be favoring a lot of the younger players, bench players, to finish out this regular season. They're not going for anything. This looks like a decent spot for Oklahoma City. Short line. It's very doable in my opinion. I'm going to be looking for Oklahoma City and the -3 in this game. In the next game of the night, guys, we got the Toronto Raptors traveling to the city of brotherly love to take on the Sixers. The Sixers currently 5.5-point favorites. I had them favored by 6 in this ball game. The reason for this line looking a little low at first glance is because this does have more playoff implications for the Raptors than it does for the Sixers. After Boston's win in a blowout win in Milwaukee, the Sixers are now 2.5 games behind Boston for the second spot. Doesn't look like they'll be catching them. But for the Raptors, guys, much more important. They are in a deadlock tie with the Hawks, 38-38 in the 8th and 9th seeds in the play-in tournament standings. They need to beat out the Hawks in order to move up to the 8th spot. Just to get a second chance in case they lose in the first round of the play-in tournament. It's an important spot, the 8th seed. It looks like they're giving their shot over there. To take a look at the injury report to see how Philly is approaching this ball game. As of now, I don't see any news of any injured players. Looks like they're going to be at full strength. James Harden came back in the last game against Dallas, game that they won. They were down in that ball game, but in the second half made their move, ended up handing Dallas another loss. The Raptors on a bit of a winning streak. They have won 3 straight. Those 3 games came at home. They were on a 4-game homestand. This is going to be the first game on the road. In this game, guys, if the Sixers stay at full strength, looking at the injury report, if everybody plays, I can't see any other result than Philadelphia here and the -5.5. Superior team, even though Toronto needs the win. If Philly plays all their guys, I think they can get this win and cover this 5.5. In our next ball game, we got the Orlando Magic traveling to the country's capital to take on the Wizards. The Wizards are currently 2-point favorites. I had Washington favored by a point in this game. Guys, the Wizards mathematically are still alive in a play-in spot, but they are 2 games behind Chicago. I don't think they're going to be catching them. There's not enough time. 6 games left. Plus, they're playing without their star players. Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal. Looks like they're going to be missing from this ball game as well. The Wizards guys didn't matter in their previous game. They took out their frustration from all the losing to the Celtics. They ended up blowing out Boston by a big 20-point margin, and just an incredible performance by Washington. They were playing very efficient basketball. They didn't care that Boston needed wins and were at full strength. They took care of business on their home court. I'm going to be looking for them to continue their momentum from that ball game, and I'm going to be looking to take Washington here with the -2. I know Orlando is a tough outfit, and in their last game, they were fairly competitive against the Memphis Grizzlies, but I think Washington can carry on from that momentum from the previous game and get another W in this ball game. My pick here is Washington and the -2. In our next matchup, we got the Atlanta Hawks going to New York, Brooklyn to be exact, to take on the Nets. This game is currently at a pick'em. As a pick'em, Brooklyn guys in their last game were playing against the Houston Rockets. They do have a pretty favorable schedule to finish this season out. They had the Rockets. They came close to losing that ball game, but a late run at the end, what looked like it could have been a bad loss for them. They ended up actually winning that game by 9, hit a flurry of threes at the end, won that ball game, increasing their lead now to against the 7th place Miami Heat to a game and a half. They are 41-35. The Heat 40-37. They're going against the Hawks team that is also looking to get as many wins as possible. They are tied in the standings, 38-38 record with the Toronto Raptors. They're looking to hold on to that 8th spot, possibly move up to the 7th spot if Miami keeps losing and they can put a string of W's together. Atlanta, definitely the team looking for the win. They need the win a little more than Brooklyn does. Both teams need it, but I think Atlanta needs this game a little more. In their last ball game, they were at home against a Cleveland team that was playing without Jarrett Allen, coming in with a lot of momentum. But they managed to stop them in their tracks and get a 2-point win. A very important win, kept them on pace, kept them in the 8th spot, keeping Toronto at a distance. In this ball game, guys, I'm going to be looking for Atlanta to get the win here. I got them on the money line. I think they do have a better squad than the Nets, even though the Nets are a team a little unpredictable. They could come in here and hit a bunch of threes, put the Hawks away. The Hawks are no powerhouse this season. We all know how inconsistent they've been all year. The injury report looks pretty clean for them. Nothing really major going on over here. DeAndre Hunter is listed as questionable. For Brooklyn, looks like everybody's going to be in. I like Atlanta here, guys, and the money line. This is my pick in this ball game. In our next ball game, we got the New York Knicks going to Cleveland to take on the Cavs. Cavs currently 5-point favorites. I had Cleveland favored by 5.5 in this ball game. Very interesting matchup. A very possible first round preview for this year's playoffs. Cleveland locked into the 4th spot. Doesn't look like they're going to be moving from there. And New York in the 5th spot with a 2.5 game difference from the 6th place Nets. Just by looking at the standings, this game does look like it's not that meaningful as far as the standings go. What's interesting in this ball game, guys, is that the Knicks are going to be playing without Julius Randle. He sprained his ankle. He's reportedly going to be out for a couple of weeks. It doesn't look like it'll affect the team. Of course, it will affect them on court and their performances, but like I just mentioned, it doesn't look like it will affect them in the standings. The Cavs also missing one of their big men, Jarrett Allen. He missed the last game against the Hawks. He's most likely not going to be playing in this ball game. He is listed as doubtful, along with Isaac Okoro, also expected to miss. In this ball game, guys, Jalen Brunson came back for the Knicks. I kind of like him on the road. I like this +5. This is anybody's ball game. I think the Knicks can go in there and be very competitive. We know the Cavs without Jarrett Allen are not as strong as they are with him in the lineup. A very important piece, especially on the defensive end, rebounding. Just his inside presence, altering shots, will definitely give the Knicks a lot more chances in this ball game. I like the Knicks here with the +5. In our next ball game, guys, we got the teams with the worst records in the NBA going at it. Detroit in Houston. Houston 4.5-point favorite. I had Houston favored by 5.5 in this game. Houston, guys, is coming off a 5-game road trip where they lost all their 5 games. They are currently on a 7-game losing streak. Detroit not doing much better themselves. A 7-game losing streak for them. 16-60 on the season. Houston 18-59. We know the worst record in the league when at the end of the regular season will get the most ping pong balls in the draft lottery. Both teams are in contention to get that last spot. Currently, Houston does have is a couple of games better than Detroit, which means Detroit can afford to get a W and not ruin their chances for getting the worst record in the league. So with that being said, guys, also Houston, the first game back from a road trip, never a good spot. I'm going to be looking to take Detroit plus 4.5 here. I think Detroit can also win this ball game, even though it is a bit of a coin flip. I kind of like him in this spot. I might put some change on this game, even though it is meaningless. I think Houston doesn't want to win this ball game, and like I just mentioned, Detroit can win it and still not ruin their chances for the worst record in the league. Detroit plus 4.5 points is what we're going with in this game. In the next game of the night, guys, we got the LA Clippers in Memphis taking on the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies currently 6.5 point favorites. I had Memphis favored by 7 in this game. These two teams played against each other just a couple of nights ago, same arena. The Clippers got a big win, tough place to win. Memphis, that we all know does have the best home record in the NBA. But the Clippers went in there and got the job done, put up 142 points actually in that game, and they were playing without Paul George. Of course, we know Paul George injured, won't be playing for the Clippers for the remainder of the regular season, and most likely first round of the playoffs, if they make it, that is, which it does look like they probably will. Kawhi Leonard missed the ball game out for personal reasons. Don't know why he was missing. We don't know the personal reasons, but he is listed as questionable for this game against Memphis. Memphis will be getting Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane back in the lineup. They did miss out the previous game. I think it was a little bit more to freshen them up. The Grizzlies are going to be on the third game in 4 nights. Tough schedule. Plus the motivation to chase wins is not that high. They are second place. It doesn't look like they'll be moving up, and it looks extremely tough for the Kings to catch them. We all know there's just a few games left in the regular season. Looks like they're going to be finishing up in the second spot. Clippers do need to win a little more than Memphis, even though it will be tough for the Clippers to repeat what they did the other night, even though it's not impossible. This line, guys, 6.5 is a little short in my opinion, with Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. coming back. But I kind of like the Clippers, guys, and I'm going to be looking to ride them again. They're currently at plus 6.5. Don't know if Kawhi Leonard's coming back. We are going to have to wait and see what the exact number is going to be, if he plays or if he doesn't. I'm expecting him. If he doesn't play, this line will go a little higher. We could get a few more points. I still like the Clippers here with the points. They were playing lights out in the previous ball game. The subs that came in looked like they just grabbed the opportunity when it was available. And I think if they get another chance, they're going to go at it once again. Momentum is on their side. They need the W's. I like the Clippers here with the plus 6.5. In our next ball game, guys, we got the LA Lakers traveling to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. In my opinion, the most interesting game of the night, and a game that I will definitely be watching. Minnesota currently favored by 1 in this game. I had this game, the line estimated as a pick'em. Minnesota is coming off a 3-game road trip where they played pretty well, and they were on a 4-game winning streak, but did lose a tight one in Phoenix against the Suns. Were extremely competitive in that ball game. Actually got up by double digits. Even though Kevin Durant did come back in that game for Phoenix, Minnesota was on a tough spot. But they were competitive once again, showed that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. They are still in playoff contention. They have not secured their spot quite yet. They are 39 and 38. Just a half game ahead of their opponents, the Lakers. Lakers are also in a battle to make the play-in tournament. And they also won the previous game. They were in Chicago. Got an easy win, took advantage of Chicago's bad scheduling spot. Chicago was playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. Just a day's rest after coming back from the road trip. Was a bad spot for Chicago. Lakers didn't care. They went in there, took advantage of that. They also got D'Angelo Russell back in that game. LeBron played in that ball game. They went in there and got the win that they needed to get. In this game, guys, I do think Minnesota is the side that I'm going to be going with the money line. I know it is a bad spot, Minnesota coming back from a road trip. But I think they do have the superior team. They do have more weapons at all positions. They are deeper. And I think the size that they have with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns will provide some problems for Anthony Davis, the Lakers' best player, obviously. And In this spot, guys, I just like the Timberwolves to get the win. I think they are the better team, and I think at home they can get the job done. Minnesota with the money line is my pick in this game. In the next matchup, guys, we got the San Antonio Spurs traveling to San Francisco, the Bay Area, to take on the Golden State Warriors. Golden State currently a 16-point favorite. I had Golden State favored by 15.5 in this ball game. Golden State, guys, no need to do much analysis in this game. They are the clear-cut favorite to win this ball game. What I do whenever the Spurs play, I always look at the injury report to see if Coach Pop is going to be playing some of their regulars. And what I see is Romeo Langford listed as questionable. Keldon Johnson is going to be playing. He's listed as probable. Devin Vassell listed as questionable, which means there's a good chance that he's going to be playing. I know they don't have much going for them, and they are not looking to get any wins. I don't think they expect to win in this ball game, but this number is a little high, guys. The Golden State Warriors have not blown out many teams this season, even at home. These do look like a lot of points, and I think San Antonio over here with the plus 16 is what I would bet in this ball game, even though I will most likely be staying away from this. I don't really like betting these very huge lines. Anything could happen. Backdoor cover. Sometimes we've even seen straight up wins. I don't expect San Antonio to pull something off like that in this game, but they could keep it within the number in the plus 16. In our next ball game, we got the Sacramento Kings in Portland taking on the Blazers. Once again, these two teams played again just a couple nights ago. Sacramento blew out Portland in that game by 30. I think it was a no contest. They're favored by 14.5 in this game. I had them favored by 15. Sacramento, guys, clinched their playoff spot, their first one in 16 years in that game against Portland. That monkey got off their back, and now they can relax and finish out the rest of this season with no stress. Sacramento, guys, is one of the few teams in the NBA that does not do any load management. Mike Brown plays all his players. They look like they have fun playing basketball. I don't think they want to sit out. Portland, I feel kind of sorry for this team, guys. If you look at their injury report, it is just a really, really long list. Over here we got, of course, the starters missing. Add Cam Reddish to that list, and even the starting point guard, which I don't even know if he is an NBA level player, Ryan Arcidiacono, who was starting for Portland, is also expected to miss. I don't even know who's going to be on the court for Portland, guys. G League level opponent. The only way I can go in this game, guys, is with Sacramento in the minus 14.5. Even though most likely I will not be putting any money on this game. I think this is the right side, though, minus 14.5. We could see much of the same. Another blowout win for the Sacramento Kings. And in the last game of the night, guys, we got the Denver Nuggets going to the Valley of the Sun to take on the Suns. The Suns are currently 6-point favorites. I had Phoenix favored by 6.5 in this ball game. Phoenix, guys, when we need to talk about Phoenix, they still need wins. They still haven't secured their fourth spot. What they need is the fourth spot in the Western Conference in order to secure a home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. What's good for them is they are on a 3-game winning streak, and they did get Kevin Durant in their last game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Durant was rusty in that game, but his presence on the court definitely helped Phoenix. Did take a bit of a load off Devin Booker and the rest of the players for Phoenix. They do have a big weapon in KD. They are at full strength, guys, and rested. Denver is going to be coming into this game second night of back-to-back. They were in action at home against the Pelicans. They lost that ball game straight up. Nikola Jokic was resting in that game. Officially on the injury report, it says it was a calf strain, and it still says right here he is listed as questionable for this game with a calf strain. Don't know if he's going to be in or out, but from the looks of it, I think it's more of a rest type of thing. They are 3 games ahead of the Memphis Grizzlies in the top spot. It looks like they're looking ahead to the playoffs. Phoenix definitely needs this game a lot more than Denver does. Hopefully, guys, Jokic does play and we can get a bit of a smaller number, because I'm going to be going with Phoenix in this game, currently at -6. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I hope Jokic comes back in this ball game and we get an even better number for Phoenix. Phoenix is my pick in this game. And this is what I got for you guys on tonight's matchups for this Friday, March 31st, in the big 13-game schedule. We broke down all the games, did our analysis, got our picks, and we are ready to roll. Now, if I need to update some of these picks, guys, I will do that on my Telegram and my Twitter. You can see the links down below. We always got late information coming in, especially on the injury report. Now, in this late part of the season, We all know a lot of funky stuff happens, and we need to wait until last minute to put our bets in. Now, guys, if we get all the necessary information a little early, I might do another short little video here on YouTube. That's why it is good for you guys to subscribe if you haven't done that, and hit that notification bell to get alerted when my videos come on. Out of these 13 games, guys, I think there are 4 games that I have separated from all these and look like my best bets of the night. The teams that I'm looking at are the Knicks with the +5, the Hawks to win the game against Brooklyn. I am looking at Minnesota to win the game against the Lakers, and also in the meaningless ball game, Detroit-Houston. I do think Detroit with the +4.5 looks good. I think Detroit could possibly win that game straight up. These are the 4 games that I'm really looking at and I'm more interested than the rest. But I have given you my sides on all of the 13 games on the schedule. And guys, that is it. This is all I have for you guys as of now. Good luck on whatever you decide to bet on this big Friday. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys. Later.